Ever completely destroyed someone who tried to frame you? My coworker tried to get me fired by framing me for theft, but he never expected me to have access to the one thing that would destroy his entire life. Jake had been gunning for my promotion at our tech company for months. The animosity was obvious, but I thought it was just workplace competition. I was wrong. Last Tuesday, I got called into HR. Sarah from Human Resources looked uncomfortable as she slid a manila folder across the table. "We need to discuss some serious allegations," she said. My heart sank as she opened the folder. Security footage, timestamps, credit card statements, and witness testimonials all pointing to me stealing office equipment and selling it online. Jake had provided everything. The evidence looked damning. I'd apparently stolen laptops, tablets, even office furniture over 6 months, but I knew I was innocent. "This has to be a mistake," I said. Sarah shook her head. "The evidence is overwhelming. We're placing you on unpaid suspension pending investigation. You have 48 hours to respond with your defense." That night I couldn't sleep. Jake had somehow manufactured an entire case against me, complete with doctored timestamps and fake witness statements. But how I remembered something: Jake and I both had administrative access to the company's security system for our IT roles. What if he'd been manipulating footage I logged into our security database from home and started digging? What I found made my stomach turn. Jake hadn't just been framing me, he'd been the one stealing everything for months. The real timestamps showed him loading equipment into his car after hours. He'd simply edited the footage, replacing his face with mine using deepfake software. But that wasn't the worst part. I found folders labeled insurance fraud, tax evasion, and insider trading. Jake had been using company resources to run multiple illegal schemes. He'd been stealing client data, selling it to competitors. My blood ran cold when I opened the insider trading folder. Screenshots of Jake's trading account showed he'd made over $200,000 in suspicious trades, all based on confidential client information he'd accessed through our system. There were conversations with his broker discussing upcoming mergers. Our clients were planning. Jake had violated federal securities laws. The evidence was overwhelming, but I needed the perfect moment to strike it. The company all-hands meeting was scheduled for Friday morning. Our CEO always started these meetings by recognizing outstanding employees and addressing company issues. I called in sick to work Thursday and spent the day preparing my presentation. I reached out to Sarah in HR and told her I had new evidence that would exonerate me completely. She agreed to let me present it at the Friday meeting. Friday morning arrived and the entire company was gathered in the main conference room. Jake sat in the front row looking smug, probably thinking I'd been too defeated to show up. The CEO began his usual opening remarks just as I slipped in through the back door. At exactly 10 a.m., I stood up and interrupted. "Excuse me, sir, but I have urgent information about the theft allegations." The room went silent. The CEO looked annoyed but curious. "Go ahead," he said. I connected my laptop to the main projector. "What you're about to see will shock you." The first slide read, "The real criminal among us." What followed was a systematic destruction of Jake's life. Real security footage showing Jake stealing equipment, bank statements proving the money went to his accounts, screenshots of his illegal trading activity, evidence of the deepfake software he'd used to frame me, federal securities violations worth over 200,000, client data theft and sale to competitors. Jake's face went from smug to horrified as slide after slide exposed his crimes. He jumped up, trying to reach my laptop, but security was already moving toward him. The final slide simply read, "Some people dig their own graves. I just provided the shovel." The CEO immediately called for Jake's arrest. The FBI was contacted within minutes. Jake tried to run, but was tackled in the parking lot by security. 3 months later, Jake was sentenced to 8 years in prison for securities fraud theft. I got promoted to his old position with a raise. Jake started this war thinking he could destroy my career, but I definitely finished it by destroying his entire life.